It's another Rapid Fire Friday here with Brian. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, Corey.
Oh, I have something special for you. And if you're listening, you're going to want to get on our podcast YouTube feed to see the visual of this. But I'm showing Brian a very special picture. My parents are
What?
currently moving.
You were in a red shirt.
This is great for our listeners. It's a picture of me as a 13-year-old playing junior league baseball. Our team was the Cincinnati Reds. So I'm there
Oh, sweet.
smiling with my braces in my Reds uniform. So Brian is a Cincinnati Reds fan. That was just for you. And if you're listening to this frustrated, go to YouTube, get the visual feed of this. You get to see our smiling faces. So Brian, that was for you.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you for sharing that with me. You did mention that yesterday on the phone call, then you just totally forgot to tell me what it was. So I'm
No,
glad you showed me
this was
instead.
intentional. I teased it for you so that I
Oh,
knew
okay.
I would show you live. I would surprise you here on the
Hmm.
Rapid Fire Friday episode. Brian, we delayed the recording of this by a half hour because my parents are moving. We have furniture going here, there, and everywhere. But that's not your concern, listener. Your concern is answering questions. Brian, this is his favorite episode of the month. Undoubtedly his favorite. So let's get into it. Brian, hot question. What are the best foods for reducing visceral fat?
Top of my head, I don't really have just go-to food. Low energy, dense, high filling foods.
I think this question was asking, what are the secret visceral fat burning foods? What are the hack
Oh,
foods? Because I think we see a lot of posts, a lot of sponsored content. 3 best foods for burning belly fat. This one targets liver fat. I think this question came to us from someone who has been working really hard and still has some of that fat around the midsection and was looking for the special secret food that we've been withholding. But Brian, have we
mm,
been withholding the secret foods for reducing your visceral fat?
I don't think so. I do recall seeing that video about the cinnamon cocktail that is poured over that the fat and melts all this fat on these organs. But I don't know how that, I'm not going to endorse any cinnamon cocktail that I'm not too familiar with.
And
So,
I think you're missing the point here is that
okay,
there
I'm
is no
missing the point.
secret, there's no
Okay.
secret supplement or hack that's going to reduce visceral fat. The secret is the same thing that we talk about. As Ryan says, you have to get into a place where your body is burning body fat for energy because you're not taking in enough energy compared to what you're using. Your calorie deficit. Brian, are you happy?
I would say yes and no, that there probably are some foods that might, I don't know, theoretically help with detoxification. And I don't know, Corey, what do
You
you,
seem not confident.
I'm not confident in this
So
because
let's not
I
get,
don't know
I'm not
much
here to give
about the.
answers where I'm not confident. Here, we're going to go beat the same drum. Okay.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say
Okay.
this. Big rocks, small rocks, medium rocks, whatever, pebble. I would throw the big rocks of calorie deficit, energy deficit, working out, movement. All those are the big boulders here. Sleep, recovery. But the small things would be like the maybe magic food, maybe magic supplements that can potentially help your body with that.
Emphasis
So,
on maybe and emphasis on magic air
yeah.
quotes. So this goes back, and this person I spoke to and was like, hey, there is no best. The best foods are the ones you're going to be able to eat that keep you full, that are not full of excess energy density. So we beat the same drums over and over again, but it is the high protein, high fiber, fibrous vegetables, the lean proteins, the same things that done consistently over time that lead to general fat loss. And in general, when you lose body fat, your body knows that fat around your liver, your visceral organs is the most dangerous. So that's often what is the first fat to go. And so for many of the people we work with, our clients, the people we've helped in our pharmacy clinics, the first few months of getting on some sort of program with the appropriate strength training, movement, diet changes, you don't often see the scale budge as much as you'd like, maybe a couple pounds. But the one thing that we have our clients measure is waist circumference. And we have people who, after 2 months, have maybe lost a pound or two, which is discouraging if you're solely focused on the scale, but they've lost 3 or 4 inches or more, which means that visceral fat is going away and you're changing your body composition. So that's the secret is there's no secret that we're withholding, that we're waiting for this episode to tell you. If we had the secret formula in food, we would bottle it, sell it, and be gajillionaires. But it's the same old stuff we talk about.
Yep. Let's go to
So
the next question, Corey.
Ryan is ready for the next question. All right. So speaking of supplements, this one is, will creatine help me with muscle growth? Just asking creatine in general.
Creatine and muscle growth. I would say more performance and energy utilization in your muscles. So you're going to be able to work out maybe a little harder, maybe a little bit longer. Not directly,
Now,
but yes, it can help you work out harder longer, recover better, and then that can lead to more muscle growth.
This is what we call in the improv comedy business an A to C. Creatine improves your stamina and ability to work out. That improves your muscle growth. Ergo, A to C, creatine can help with muscle growth. But like Brian said, it's not a direct muscle stimulant. It's not going to do that. This person that asked this question, actually, we suggested trying some creatine, and they said, I felt much stronger in the gym this week. So creatine it's a very hot supplement. If we have to disclose things, we don't have to, but we actually, Brian, I'm going to take a pause here. We had someone get on a call with us, a medication exit strategy call, and they really appreciated our authenticity. So I just wanted to call that out and thank you, person, for saying that. We like to think we're authentic. And in the mode of being authentic, I take creatine. My wife takes it.
Creatine.
Brian takes creatine. You don't have to take it, but there's a lot of really good data coming out to support it for your body and your mind. Creatine is something that does come naturally in foods, but a lot of people notice some benefits when you start adding it in as a supplement.
Yeah, that's how I powered through my pickleball beating you. Did we ever talk about that? The results of that when I decided that I was going to beat you in pickleball? And
I think because I had decided I'd beat you the morning we were recording on vacation. And then the next day you decided to beat me and you did. So
yeah. Thanks to creatine. Sponsored by creatine.
Sponsored by creatine. No specific brand, just creatine, the substance.
Monohydrate. Don't be fooled by any of the other brands, the other formulations. Just get the monohydrate. Yep. Clean, pure, simple. You don't need to spend a ton of money on creatine if you're doing it.
Exactly. Brian, I can say that the creatine fueled our victories over our children in the beach wiffle ball games.
Yes.
If your kids ain't crying, you ain't playing. Brought to you by creatine. So yeah, so it can't, long story short, yeah, creatine, we can't recommend anything medically. Listen to the disclaimer at the end of this episode, but as a supplement, it's one we both take. And I think it's one that potentially could benefit you if you are looking to improve your performance in exercise. Fair?
Fair. I'm about to get my parents to start taking it. So yes.
Cool. All right. This is the last question. This is my favorite one of the day. The first two were really good, but this one is one of those ones that I think Brian's going to make a face. And the last question is, are carrots bad for blood sugar?
No.
No.
You might see it rise a little bit. Yes, carrots have sugar in them. You wanted to get into the maybe topic of like glycemic.
Yeah, but we'll get into this a little bit deeper here because I think carrots have this bad reputation that's not deserved because they get picked on because carrots can taste sweet. They do have carbs in them, and we have these things called glycemic index and glycemic load. And glycemic index is essentially something from 0 to 100. Pure glucose is 100, and it measures how quickly a food raises blood sugar. And relatively, carrots might raise sugar. But the problem with glycemic index is that it assumes that you eat enough food to provide 50 grams of carbohydrates of that food, which for carrots, it's a decent amount of carrots. So it's hard to hit that. Like by one estimate I found, it's like a pound of carrots, which I have done that with a bag of baby carrots before.
Yeah. Another thing is like cooking raw or eating raw carrots versus cooked carrots, I'm sure makes a difference.
Yes, and I don't have the answer for you there. So point being, like glycemic index measures how quickly things rise. But glycemic load, I think I really prefer to look at glycemic load because this accounts for how much carb you're actually eating. So carrots might have a little higher glycemic index, but a lower glycemic load because per serving that you'd actually eat of carrots, their total carb load is less. Glycemic index tells us how fast, but glycemic load tells us how much. One of the classic examples that we could use, and it's not carrots, so excuse me. And just for reference, like the glycemic index, the scale is 0 to 100. Low glycemic index is considered less than 55, medium 56 to 69, and high over 70. So it tells you how fast the sugar runs through your blood, but it doesn't tell you how much carb is in a normal serving. Glycemic load, a low glycemic load is less than 10, medium is 11 to 19, high is over 20, based on our sources. Yeah. And this is calculated by multiply the amount of carbs in a standard serving by the glycemic index and divide by 100. So we're in the summer, a big favorite in the summer, watermelon. Don't know about your house, but my kids are just crushing watermelon. And it has a pretty high glycemic index, 80. So that would say, oh my gosh, this is bad because the carbs in it are absorbed quickly. But when you consider a standard slice of watermelon is mostly watermelon, the glycemic load is only 5. So like a normal portion of watermelon, not for those of you who out there crushing a whole watermelon, like my children, but like a normal portion might not be as dangerous for blood sugar as you might think. So that's what I would say is that we want to look at glycemic index, yes, but glycemic load. And I did find one source here by preparation. Raw carrots have a glycemic index of 16, while it's boiled is 32 to 49. So even like not a crazy amount. 2 small raw carrots have a glycemic load of about 8. So we're under 10. So that's doing okay. Everyone is an individual. So sorry, go back.
Oh, speaking of secret foods that might burn belly fat, maybe carrots. I've seen somewhere out there like eating like a raw carrot a day. Like that's like a hack out there. So I don't know.
Brian, why do you keep feeding into this?
I'm just gonna say it out there. Like I did try that and I don't know. I felt clear, but that's
maybe because you were eating vegetables.
Maybe I was eating vegetables. That's it.
Maybe it was replacing something that was not.
I just had to interrupt all your math that you were throwing out there to people because you probably lost them. You were losing me a little bit. The numbers were many, but the information was good. So thank you, Cory, for the
long
information.
Long story short, I would not fear carrots when it comes to blood sugar.
Yeah,
so
let's get to that point.
Thank you. Yeah. So glycemic index, how fast a food makes your sugar. Glycemic load, the total impact on blood sugar. That is, if you want a deeper dive into that, which Brian seems like he's just clamoring for, send us a message and we'll do a whole episode on glycemic index versus glycemic load. But this is rapid fire Friday, Brian, not go deep Friday, right?
What I wanted to say is a conversation I was having with the client today is sometimes just swapping the food. You don't have to eat more of something, but just when you swap the food, like instead of a snack being some nuts, which we all know, like very low glycemic, and like if anything, they're pretty much pure fat. So you're not really going to get a blood sugar spike, but calorie wise, energy wise, they're just loaded with energy. And type 2 diabetes, again, an energy toxicity problem. So if you're swapping out some carrots for like crunchy nuts, you are going to reduce your total energy intake. And that's going to be a good thing for your body because your body is having a hard time storing this excess energy. Don't always be afraid of little blood sugar spikes, CGM things like.
The long game. Don't ignore it. If you eat a carrot and it spikes your sugar to 300, then I would say that is unlikely, but not impossible. But yeah, I agree, Brian. I think it's hard. You have the sugar in the moments that make you freak out, but like long term, we have people that their sugar is improving or it's lower, but they're not losing weight. And it's like you're working around the blood sugar spikes. So long term, you want to burn the excess body fat, reduce the energy stored in your tanks, and build a bigger storage tank by building muscle.
Full circle, that reduces the visceral fat. And then,
boom.
There you go. Full circle on this Rapid Fire Friday episode.
All right. Well, if you love this Rapid Fire Friday, share it with someone you know who's struggling with type 2 diabetes or is freaking out about carrots. Make sure you head over to YouTube and get us subscribed on YouTube. I'm putting out stuff every other Monday. That's a lot of fun, a little shorter than our podcasts. And make sure to check out our podcast on the YouTube feed so you too can see 13-year-old brace-faced Cory holding a baseball bat, smiling in a Cincinnati Reds hat, which is making Brian's head explode right now.
I just got to give you kudos, Cory. You're getting the subscribers up on YouTube, so kudos to that.
Thank you. The relative increase is great. That's what I will use. I'll use my nerdy math right there. The relative increase has been fun to see, and we love the interactions. And if you have a question, send it to us. You can send us an email. You can send us a DM on Instagram, and we will feature it on a future Rapid Fire Friday episode so that others can benefit from your question. Sound good, Brian?
Sounds great, Cory.
All right. Until next time, keep it simple and do what works.